ことはエリスとお呼びください。そんな王女殿下に向かって。私のことはシルクでいいよ。令状に向かって。テレスシルク。今日出会ったばかりでそんな。テレスいい？シルクいい？
降りる準備を。
もしかして全部見てました？
はい。
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video on the VikingGnomeAnime channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the third episode of the Aristocrat's Otherworldly adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far. Now, if you're like me, you saw the first episode and you thought, okay, I mean, it could be okay. You saw the second episode and you thought, oh boy, this is not going to be that good, is it? And then the third episode you realize, yep, this is Isekai trash. But it is our trash. Now, let's quickly go through the plot, and then I'll try to have some thoughts on it afterwards, so there's not really much to think about in this anime, to be fair. This episode, we start with Kane going to the capital to present himself, as is apparently customary when you are 10 years old. Though they also do a 2-year time skip at the start of the episode. We get reintroduced to the sister. I mean, the sister makes an appearance for like a few minutes. She was like completely gone from the second episode, but now she's back. Even though it's just for like a minute, then she's gone again. Not to be seen. Same with the mother, just in the starting scene, and then not seen for the rest of the episode. Like, okay. Also, Kane apparently at the very start of the anime, or the episode, slays a massive dragon. Very easily, of course. And his power level is now, what, 82 million? I think I read that right. I think it was 82 million. If that is correct, his starting power level was like 200,000. So, by that logic, his power level is now 10, 20, 40, 100. It's a lot. It's very high, okay? Massive power levels. Way over 9,000. Okay, so I guess, okay, sure. Outside of the absolute ludicrous nature of his supposed power level now, we move on. And Kane finds out that some people are being attacked when he is on this carriage ride to the capital. He rushes out, and he tries to save these people. A lot of the knights are dead, but he rushes in, and he one-shots and slices all these orcs, they were called. They didn't look like orcs, but sure, orcs. And he slays them all, easily. And saves the head knight there, and a few others. He heals them, and all that. All good stuff. Then we get to know that in the carriage were not only the kingdom's princess, but also the daughter of the duke, of a duke in the kingdom. So Tellus was the princess, and Silk was the duke's daughter, as far as I remember. And apparently both of these girls, both 10 years old, same age as Kane, were incredibly smitten with him immediately. Like, oh my savior! Oh! And they are all clingy and all these good things, because of course they are. Of course they are. We then get some very, well, very expected scenes, I suppose. Apparently, at the beginning, when they walk out of the carriage, they are too frightened and scared to really say much, so Ken uses some quote-unquote mind relaxation magic. And suddenly they are all super cheery and happy and addicted to him. I'm not exactly sure what was in that magic he used, but okay. That must have been some strong stuff, if you know what I mean. So they basically just swoon over him and then refuse for him to go in his own carriage to the capital and kidnap him, basically. Force him into their own carriage for the remainder of the travel. And they continue just to be completely smitten with him. Just really smitten. Like, we have to sleep in the same room. We have to be hand in hand continually. We have to literally be inseparable. Because that's how things are, I suppose. So you get a lot of that really trashy sort of content for the next 10 minutes. And then we get to the royal capital, where he has an audience with the king after he talks to the head knight and gives the bodies back of the fallen knights that he stored from the battle earlier. So he has an audience with the king, and the king basically says, hey, you know what? You defeated 50 orcs, apparently. And apparently an orc general too. Which, I didn't really see that. I saw maybe 10 orcs. And I'm not sure if orc is a translation error or not, but let's say orcs. I didn't see 50, I saw maybe 10. I guess they forgot to animate the rest. And an orc general, I didn't really see that either, but I guess. Not sure if this is accurate or if the king is just talking up his achievements, who knows. And basically he just gives him a baron title and a peerage and his own mansion and a lot of wealth, basically, as a reward for saving his daughter and the duke's daughter as well. I'm not quite familiar with how royal titles or these sort of things work, and it wasn't really explained in the episode either, so he is granted a baron title, but he was already the son of a margrave, but I guess that means he doesn't inherit the margrave title, because I assume only the first son would inherit the title, perhaps, I'm not quite sure. So he is then granted his own title, which means maybe he will have his own house now, his own noble house. I'm not really quite sure how that works either, but anyway, he got the title, he got the mansion, and after the audience, he gets to the private chambers to talk with the king, and the duke is in private, just the few of them. And that's the point where the king basically says, "So, I heard you slept in the same bed or close to our daughters, and that you held hands with them, you were really familiar, and now apparently no one wants to marry them anymore. So now basically you have to be engaged to both of them." Okay, I guess. Of course you're not going to be married for a while, but you'll have to accept the engagement, because no one will take them now, after you sullied their pride by hand-holding too much. Okay, sure, I guess. So he then accepts the engagement as well. Now, well, there's a lot to say about this anime, or a lot not to say, I suppose. It was, very... well, it is isekai trash, for sure. Like, there's no doubt that this is like the epitome and the complete just definition of isekai trash. The story is shallow, the plot is very loose, the character development is non-existent probably. I doubt we'll see much development at all. It is very goofy, very light, very full of jokes and weird humor, and just tries to really go way over the top with it. Like, doesn't take itself seriously at all, which I suppose is fine, if that's the goal of the show. But, so far, nothing really ties you to the characters, nothing really ties you to the show at all, in my opinion. There isn't really much to grasp hold of, to really enjoy in the show. It's something you put on, you don't have to pay too much attention, just like, oh, thing happened, okay, more things happened, okay, I guess he's a baron now, and more things happened, like, okay, sure, I guess. But there's really no substance there, or extremely little substance there, to grab hold of. Of course, if you are like me, you watch all isekai trash and you just enjoy the power fantasy nonsense, no matter how many times it's repeated, no matter how many times you see it over and over again, you never get tired of it. You just have to watch it every single time. If you're like me, then you will probably enjoy this show, even though, again, it's nothing to write home about, right? If you're anyone else except absolute isekai addicts like myself, you probably should skip this show by now. You probably should just say, okay, I tried, but I'm gonna drop it, because this is not one for the records. Long term, for sure. It is... I heard the manga / light novels were way better in this show. But, of course, you can only judge the anime. So, it's sad if they butchered the base material. I'm not sure how much they did or not. But, yeah, so far, it is not doing the best. One other thing I did note about the Thursday Princesses was that basically they used very high-level female manipulation tactics to just get Kane to agree to many things he probably should have said no to, in terms of intimacy or whatever else, basically. This, as an end note, as I said, is a show you will only watch if you are a hardcore isekai addict. Other people will probably just want to stay away, and I completely understand why. With that being said, if you enjoyed this episode, or if you enjoyed the video, hit the like, notification bell, and subscribe button. Feel free to also comment on the video below, If you have any questions about the episode, about the video, any feedback, any comments at all, really, anything that is on your mind, feel free to let it all out. I respond and read every single comment. I thank you so much for your support, and I will see you all in the next one. Go on and enjoy more trash isekai, I suppose.